we are finally figuring out what happened to Isaiah Bradley. Hey YouTube, welcome back to We Sips, West Coast, East Coast Siblings, where we cover your favorite movies and television. Tonight we are going over the Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 5. Before we start, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can be kept up to date on all of our coverage on Falcon and the Winter Soldier, including the season finale next week. Things that happened. So this episode seemed exceptionally long to me, which was good because I feel like they were kind of light, like the first 4 or 5 episodes, and then the first 3 or 4 episodes, and then in this one they really pack in pretty much all of the context, all of the subtext finally comes to a head in what we've been learning about Sam, about Bucky, about Baron Zemo, about everything. So the first thing that this episode deals with is the fallout of John Walker's murdering someone in the middle of some town in Europe. I mean, bro legit hack somebody in, and it's pretty awful, and the fallout is terrible. They strip him of his Captain America status, and well, he's just kind of a mess dealing with it. This episode starts out with, Sam and Bucky pretty much just fighting him for the shield. He's like, listen bro, you're way out of line, you don't deserve that shield, you gotta give it back. And so they have a fight, they break his arm and get it back, which was great. Gotta love those fight scenes, man. Pretty good. Also, just want to comment, Sam, his wings get ripped off, right? And he acts like that physically hurt him. So the next big thing is that the Wakandans, finally fed up with giving Bucky enough time to deal with the Baron, decide, you know what, we're gonna take him. And they snatch up Baron Zemo, and Bucky finally kind of comes to himself, comes to his own. He has another deep talk with Sam later on, but he kind of accepts where he is, who he is. He's not going to kill Baron Zemo. He gives him up to the Wakandans, and he realizes that he's got to move forward. Sam tells him, you can't let anybody tell you who you're going to be. You can't let Baron Zemo threaten to drop them couple words down and you think you're going to turn into the Winter Soldier again. You got to let it go. Also, he says goodbye. They say goodbye in this episode, and it's kind of like, but this isn't the last episode. Like, bro, where you think you're going? But I guess it's kind of like, this chapter of our lives is closed. I'll see you around. I don't know, it's kind of weird. Anyway, Ayo tells him not to come to Wakanda anytime soon because, well, he's caused a lot of trouble for them in terms of catching Baron Zemo. Big thing that happens, we meet Contessa Valentina Allegra de la Fantina. Homegirl got 15 billion names, but that's okay because she a Contessa. She shows up. Now, I don't know too much about her. I know that she is in relation to S.H.I.E.L.D. somehow, and I think she led the female fighters in the part of S.H.I.E.L.D. Let me know in the comments if you know exactly where she's from, but I know she had something to do with Nick Fury at one point, and I know she leads a bad mamma jamma group of female S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. Cool that we're seeing her. She tells John Walker to give her a call, but then, she is pretty mysterious about it. So we know that she's connected with S.H.I.E.L.D. We don't really know what's going on with S.H.I.E.L.D. They were pretty much destroyed and dismantled back in Winter Soldier. So we don't know what's going on, but we do know that S.W.O.R.D. is a thing, so maybe she's in relation to them, or maybe she's just gonna make her own bad mamma jamma team, fighty team. I don't know. And what does she want with John Walker, who's clearly a bad guy? But anyway, he has a super soldier serum now, and as we know, it makes bad men awful and good men great. And I think John probably falls, I guess, somewhere in the middle, but he's just so unlikable to me. I'm like, that guy's a bad guy. But we'll see. I definitely get some Homelander vibes from him. So let me know what you guys think. I'm thinking a Homelander type, but obviously not as powerful, even with the superhero serum. Anyway, so with Carly, we get some more character development. We don't see her too much in this episode. Gearing up to take down she's gearing up to take down the GRC because they're going to do the Patch Act, which is basically removing out all of the refugees in various countries to their original countries, which she doesn't want to do. Her whole big thing is one world, one people, and so she's going to destroy them. And in this episode, she reveals that she is talking to one of Falcon's old enemies, who I want to point out, okay, hold on a second. So in this episode, Sharon is talking to someone French on the phone, and she's telling them that, basically she wants them to do something for her, right? And then we see a Frenchman in contact with Carly prepping to blow up the GRC and the vote for the Patch Act. So Do you guys think that's the same person? Am I missing some information here? To me, it seems like Sharon is working for, I think, the power broker? I don't know. Anyway, power broker's out to kill Carly because she owes him some stuff. Carly's, not worried about him right now. She's trying to blow up some other people. And Carly's clearly turning into a bad guy, which her friends are now, I don't know if they're concerned about, but they certainly noted and they seem to be a little hesitant in terms of following her, which I guess is good, what with her being a bad guy and all. Finally, this episode deals with Isaiah Bradley, and we have all been wondering exactly what they were going to do with his storyline. I don't remember what episode it was, but Kristen and I were just talking, and Chris didn't think that Isaiah Bradley was coming back, so I'd just like to throw that out there, that Chris was wrong and Sydney was right. If you guys want to, make sure Chris knows that in the comments. Just put it in all caps. Sid was right. We learned that Isaiah Bradley was a hero, and they put him in jail and experimented on him for that. He tells Sam the whole story. Basically, they had injected him and a group of soldiers with the super serum, but told them it was a shot for tetanus, I believe. And it didn't take for most of them, but it took for Isaiah. And he overhears that the scientists are going to blow up or get rid of the rest of the people who the super serum didn't work for. And so he flips out and he goes and he saves them, and the scientists capture him and put him in jail for quite a long time. And a nurse finally takes mercy on him and fakes his death and gets him out of there. Isaiah Bradley's story is what is at the heart of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's the story of a black man having had all of these terrible things done to him by America as a whole, and his response to that. And then you have Sam, who has not obviously been in jail or anything like that, but is still a black man and still suffers those things, and whether or not he's willing to take up the mantle of Captain America. So that was really, really hit upon in this episode. And, not gonna lie, I really don't like my politics mixing in with my superheroes because, it's fantasy and I enjoy the fantastical part of it. However, I do understand that if Marvel was going to tell this story truthfully, honestly, of Sam taking over the Captain America shield, they had to deal with the fact that our Captain America was now going to be black, and what that meant, what with America's history, with racism and all of those other things. So, especially in a climate that we're in today. So, mad respect to Marvel. I understand. They did need to deal with it, and I think they've done an interesting job with it. With having Sam hearing Isaiah Bradley's story, processing it, having his sister tell him, you can't let that man tell you what to do or who to be or how to be. And I think Sam knowing who Steve was, and kind of an innocent in all this, he didn't know that, he knew America's history, you know what I'm saying? But he wasn't directly involved, and Steve was a good man, and Sam wants to be that. And he makes a good point. He says something along the lines of, what's the point of all of the hurting and all of the fighting if I'm still not willing to get back up and to fight? And I thought that was really, really cool. So I think, Sam stepping into this Captain America role is going to be great because he gets the weight of being Captain America, not just as a black man, but as a person. We see John Walker as a white man completely fail and just ruin the Shield's reputation. So I think Sam knows the weight of that in its entirety and is still willing to step up and still willing to do it. And I'm just like, yeah, Sam. I was like, yeah, yeah. Sorry, I'm a bit of a fangirl. Now we have the whole montage where he's, getting himself together and getting, learning flips and chucking the shield and everything. BT dubs, do you guys see that awful cut with the stunt double? I was like, bro, first of all, that person is the wrong shade of brown, but you know what, it's okay, whatever. I think we're set up really, really well for the season finale of this show, so let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video if you like this video, subscribe, and click the bell so you can be notified of our coverage when we cover it next Thursday. I believe the Lara Quente Ledger is going to join us. Also, check out Jeremy over at the Lara Quente Ledger. So many things to say. Who is also covering Falcon and the Winter Soldier and breaking it down even more so. Alright, you guys, I think I have talked myself into a dry mouth, so I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you next week.